After returning from a trip, you might feel sad, restless, not really wanting to get back into the grind. This can be diagnosed as post-travel blues or travel depression. Many people love travel because you get to experience a high. All right, you are hopefully immersing yourself in the culture, you're trying new foods, you are going to learn more about the art and culture of a new country, you get to meet new people, and when you get back home, you do kind of fall into a slump. Do not worry, many people experience this. In fact, I've been in an extended state of the come down from travel. I have not been out of the country in a few years, and it does start to affect you. I'm not even gonna lie. In today's video, I'm going to give you some tips how you can manage the post-travel blues. Signs that you may have the travel blues. One is going to be feeling uninterested. There is no motivation for your daily routine. In life, I don't want to say have given up, but you're just kind of feeling blah, like you're over it. When you are at work, you might doom scroll on Instagram, TikTok, looking at travel TikToks, travel reels for inspiration, or you might just be daydreaming about how you can create a life for yourself of full-time travel. You might even go into your photo gallery on your phone, looking at old pics and videos of how you were looking so fabulous on your previous trips. Something else that we tend to do is comparing what's going on in your life to previous trips. I would try not to do that because it's not going to make you feel better. Sometimes when you are traveling out of the country, you get to leave all of your problems back at home. You comparing it really doesn't make any sense. When you talk to people who do not regularly travel, you're going to feel like they don't understand. Okay, they just haven't been nowhere. They don't have a passport. How are they going to know what I'm going through? And look, this was me until I stopped traveling. Now I get to be on the other side. And now I see how it is for people who haven't been traveling when you're talking to someone who's like, oh yeah, I went here last week. Next month, I'm going to be in Belize. And then I'm excited about my trip to the Middle East. And you're like, oh, okay, well, today I woke up. I got dressed. I took a shower. You might become more of a recluse or hermit. And you might even feel like you don't belong in your hometown, your state anymore. These are all signs that you are experiencing post-travel blues, y'all. Here's how you can beat the blues. Instead of crying that it's over, smile that it happened. You have so many travel memories to look back over and hopefully inspire you to continue traveling in the future. It's not like you are giving up travel. You're just not going anywhere currently. You could print out photos, make a collage, journal your experiences. What was your best trip of the year? What was your most spectacular moment? What was your travel high? And jot down your feelings, why it made you want to experience more. This is going to sound wild, but share your travels online. You can do this through a YouTube channel, an Instagram page, or TikTok. You could do Pinterest. You do not understand how many people can connect through your point of view. This is my 70th video on YouTube. I'll give it the applause. And I am just so thrilled that you guys are here. You are watching my content, engaging. That really makes me feel good. You are giving back to me. I provide the free travel videos. You guys watch them, and it's just a symbiotic relationship that's going to continue. I was going to say until Kingdom Come, until I get to at least Country 100. So again, thank you guys for being here and supporting the channel. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I'm going to give you a secret. There's a vlog coming up very soon. Next, I would say would be to bring travel into your daily life. You can decorate your living space with souvenirs, knickknacks from your travels. With me, I'm not really into decorating. Y'all see this blank wall behind me. When I hit 1K, maybe you'll see a balloon. I might do a cake. For now, you're just going to see my dress or my shirts, because I have trinkets from Haiti, Cuba, the places that I went to in Europe. I just don't really choose to decorate them. I did get a photo book that I wanted to fill in with all of my travels. But since I'm on social media, for home, I don't really, it's not really going to do as much for me. I mean, I might glance like, oh, yeah, that was a nice knickknack. But since I travel light with a backpack, sometimes just a small carry on, I'm not really getting that much souvenirs, anyways, unless it's like a dress. The clothes that I got in Brazil, I'm gonna wear them in the videos because those are special mementos for me. But you could decorate your living space. I know a lot of travelers who have the scratch off maps. Those look really cool. They have maybe some artwork that they may have purchased while abroad. So that's a really good way for you to bring it into your daily life. Another one is cooking. When I eat, I do like to try new dishes and cuisines from other parts of the world. Creating your own vegan, vegetarian version, okay, at home really gives you a feel. Of course, it's not going to be like if you were in that country, but it can definitely lift your spirits. I mean, who doesn't like food? My favorites are going to be tomato egg. It immediately reminds me of being in China. I like to, of course, cook the Indian food. Aloo gobi is my favorite Indian dish. I love vegetable pulao. Like all of these Indian inspired dishes, I like to make them in the Instant Pot. Like they are so delicious. Just having that garlic ginger with that masala base. Oh, I've never been to India, but I can experience it through the cuisine. Again, I'm talking about London. I do not have a problem with London food as a vegetarian. I do enjoy the British breakfast. I make my own version of it with the veggie meat. I don't like to do the mushrooms though, but I enjoy the baked beans. I have some tomato. I will have some veggies and maybe some egg and toast. I love having that roasted tomato. I really like what they're doing with that. And you can season the beans however you want. Y'all better get off London. Chakalaka, that's a South African dish. I really like that because you're just mixing, the Heinz baked beans with the vegetables. Again, that ginger garlic is going to hit every time. And the last one I would say would be Pinto Gallo. It takes me back to when I was in Costa Rica. I'm surprised I haven't done paella with all of that time I spent in Spain, but try to cook a favorite dish. If you're not trying to cook, then you can at least go to a restaurant that has that cuisine. I love when I'm in Florida because I can go to the Cuban restaurants. Okay, I can hit up Little Haiti. I can get Jamaican food. Y'all, come on. You can also watch travel movies. Netflix has a lot of the cheesy, corny movies. I don't really tend to do this as much, but it is a good way for you to, just watch the show and you can be like, oh, wow, I was here. White Lotus. A lot of the action movies, they'll start out in Paris, then they'll end up in Dubai, then they'll go to Italy. Okay, so it's a lot of, I would say, background that could highlight the places that you traveled or are looking to visit in the future. Just don't become a couch potato. Music. Listening to music is definitely going to boost your mood, your spirits. Before I went to Brazil, I was on YouTube. I found a bomb playlist of Brazilian samba. I might have had some jazz on it, the Brazilian guitar. And I would listen to it weekly. Then I went to Brazil without any plan. Sorry, something's in my eye. To this day, that is the only playlist that I want to listen to, when it comes to Brazil. And someday I will be there for Carnival. While you're not traveling, this is the time where you could be practicing a language. Learn some Spanish, okay? If you're trying to visit Asia, maybe dap into some Mandarin. I'm thinking of China. That's something I did not do. Someday I'm going to give y'all my China experience because it was wild. Pick up a new hobby. I used to play the piano. I was Suzuki trained for years, but because of my piano teacher, he was saying my nails were getting too long and that I had to cut them. I was like, nah, I'm not playing no more piano. And I used to play the piano for hours. I loved it so much. Maybe that is something that I will return to. I don't know. But you could find or start a hobby. Gaming. I love gaming. In my college years, I don't know how I graduated. All I was doing was The Sims, y'all. I had an internship for teaching. When I got home after doing the projects, back to The Sims. Sims 2 is the best game of all time. To this day, I still will watch gamers play it. I mean, it is still relevant. It is the best game of The Sims. Planning the next trip is always going to be great because you have something to look forward to. Even if it's domestic, it may not be international. Some people do get a thrill of looking up restaurants, looking up places to stay, the flights, purchasing. It gives them a high and they're like, oh man, I can't wait until I go. You know, they start to do the countdown of how many weeks, days, hours. So that could be fun. Just the planning process, saving TikToks. Thank y'all for saving my TikToks. I just think that's amazing. My Frontier video is at 50K. I cannot believe that many people are watching me talk about why you shouldn't fly Frontier, even though I flew them this year. If you want to learn more about the budget airlines, go ahead and look at this video. You can bring excitement back into your life by planning the next trip. Next is going to be to explore your own city. I am sure there are things that you have not done where you live. You can check those out. You can always go to your state, your city's tourism board. There are going to be lots of events. You could look up Meetup online. Maybe you could meet some people if you don't really have a lot of friends in your area, or you could just call some friends and say, hey, you know, maybe a monthly meetup, however you want to do it. Get out of your comfort zone and try something new. It's very good for you to be active and exercise. When you are feeling down and low, go outside. I'm talking about an immediate boost, you guys, whether it's yoga, working out, lifting weights, swimming. Okay, you want to get that full body workout. You can go on nature walks or hikes because that can mimic being on an outdoor adventure. Grounding, y'all know I'm heavy into that, where you are connecting with the earth, maybe even gardening. All of these things are ways for you to start thinking positively. You're going to feel better and you're going to be in a better state of mind. I would recommend this daily. In a minute, I'm going to talk about seasonal depression when there is no sun. But getting out and being active, just taking daily walks, processing your thoughts is going to be better than if you are just staying indoors after a long day of work, letting your mind wander, you're doom scrolling, you're watching the news, all of that negativity. It's going to start affecting you. That's not what we want. Okay, we want you to be able to manage the blues. All right, you can look up Resort Pass. When I was in Florida, I still think to this day that they have some of the best deals on Resort Pass. I was able to do some self-care and I visited the Hilton Orlando for their Spa Pass. And it was absolutely fantastic. I think I'm going to talk more about this in the next video for y'all. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Another way would be for you to connect with travel friends. You want like-minded people who know and have experienced what you are going through. How you can do this, you can go to Reddit. All right, there are Facebook groups. Shout out to Black Women Solo Travel. I have not been on Facebook. I've been really working hard for Q1. Hopefully I will be able to hop on and read what's going on in the future. Finding that travel community has been a great boost for me. Looking at your story, seeing where you are traveling, those of you who are full-time, the influencers, families, of course, the solo female travelers, my favorite group ever. Sometimes I'll jot mental notes like, oh, okay, they're there. I'm gonna go there in the future. The people who I've met in my travels, I remember when I was, I believe in Budapest, we were on a walking tour and we just happened to be in some store. I think it was a bread shop where you can, get pastries, whatever. And I was talking to a group of women from Israel. I was able to visit Jerusalem. I think it was maybe 1 to 2 years later. So that was really cool when you're able to meet people and then maybe find them on Instagram and be like, hey, I went to your country. I love stuff like that. And you do want to incorporate some self-care. I think all of the things that I mentioned are going to be self-care when you're doing food and drink that is nourishing the body. You could write down some notes of gratitude. Think about what it is that you are already thankful for. I talk about self-care and reducing stress. You can try yoga or meditation. When you are practicing mindfulness, you are taking those extra steps to see what thoughts you are processing throughout the day, what parts of the body need more focus. And you can do that through meditation. I talk about this more in my recent self-care video. With the gratitude and the mindfulness, it is key for you to focus about what you love in your current environment. You have to really tap into what you are thankful for, whether it's for waking up, you are still breathing, you are alive and well, you are able to walk, you are able to move, you have your limbs. Let's just start with the basics and then go outside and find joy in the small everyday adventures, going to the grocery store, getting gas. Monthly, I schedule hikes because it is great for me to just walk, be out in the nature. I climb the rock. It's just good for me, for my mental space. YouTube is, I'd say, the most difficult task I have done in my life, and I just really need to stay grounded and continue to move forward. Journaling, writing things down. How are you feeling? How were you feeling when you were traveling? How did it change your mindset? What are you looking to learn on future trips? Write down your feelings. It's good for you to process them. When times get really bad, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to eat, you don't want to shower, none of it. It is going to be difficult. This is when I recommend that you speak to a professional. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD, it's also known as seasonal depression. It usually occurs when there is less sun. I'm thinking of fall and winter. The lack of natural light, it can disrupt your body's internal clock, lower serotonin levels, and melatonin production. What is that going to result in? You're going to start feeling sluggish. You're tired. You're not motivated. How to combat this? I, again, would recommend you to go outside and to stay outside during the daylight hours. I know in the winter, the sun is going to set early. So you really want to maximize this as much as you can. If you can take a lunch break and be outdoors that time, is going to be very important for you. There are light therapy lamps. Make sure that you are eating, staying nourished with nutrient-rich foods. And you want to maintain social connections. Like I said, when you don't feel like doing any of these things, this is when you need to seek professional help. Talk therapy, it's going to provide a judgment-free zone for you to express your thoughts and feelings. It ends up with you helping to understand yourself better. Okay, just go to the professionals. A trained therapist can help you change the thought patterns and behaviors. And some of these might be holding you back. I know with me, my Christian background, depression and therapy, it's just looked down upon. Not everyone. I think now, 2025, things are moving forward. When I was young, I never really heard anyone speak on it, or they'd just be like, I don't want to get into this too much, but depression, you just need to pray that away. You don't get low. And I'm like, what? I think you need to be doing all of these things. Yes, prayer is going to help. But at the same time, you need to be active. All right. You are going to need to be getting that daily sunlight. You're probably going to need to get into some meditation, because sometimes things are just going to wham you in the face. Life be life in, and you are going to have to manage these post-travel blues. Therapy also teaches emotional regulation, stress management, and problem-solving skills. It can be relieving just to, I like to call it trauma dump, to a professional. Sometimes I'll be doing this with my friends. Because with YouTube, I can talk on and on and on and on. But thankfully, I have friends who are willing to listen. Talking to someone who's going to listen, validate your feelings. I hate when people say, well, just choose to be happy. That does not work if you are suffering from a long-time depression. It is not just something you can turn on and off. You know what I mean? This isn't necessarily just for depression. It could be anxiety, life transitions, having or experiencing a loss in your family. All of these can take a toll on your well-being. Wrapping up, if you have been feeling down low, you're not traveling anymore, you're starting to feel sad and depressed, I want you to remember that you don't have to travel 24/7. You can bring the joy and excitement into your daily life. Which of these tips are you going to try first? Did I miss any? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Again, thank you guys. This is my 70th video. I am so excited, and I really want you all to share your ways of dealing with the post-travel blues. If you're still missing your last trip, go ahead and click here. I have plenty of videos to satisfy. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you soon.